This is a basic intro to Excel. I'm going to show you the basic parts of Excel and how to create a basic table. First, Excel is a great big table, and it's made up of a bunch of little boxes which are called cells. Each cell is part of a column. The columns are labeled with letters, and the rows are labeled with numbers. So each cell has a name, and it's made up of its column and its row. So this cell is called B3. We can see that it is B3 from the name box right here. We also have a formatting toolbar, so if we want to center and bold and do other things like that. And we also have a formula toolbar right here, which we won't be using this lesson. So we're going to create a basic table of values for a linear equation. So click on cell A3, and we're just going to put in the headers of our table of values. So we want our x values, so type x. And then to move to the next cell, type tab. Then put in our y value, and then hit enter. We want to center and bold these two headers. So I'm just going to select both cells by clicking and dragging over them. And I'm going to click on the bold. And I'm going to click on the center button to align them in the center. Now I want to put in the linear equation that we're going to be using. I want it right across the top. So I'm going to select both A and B in the 2 row. And I'm going to use this merge and center button. That's going to put both of these cells
call 1, 2, 3, please.
into one cell.
1, 2, 3.
You might need to click on the little arrow down button if you don't see the full button. So merge and center, that makes it one nice cell, and I'm going to enter y is equal to 2x, and hit enter. Now I'm going to bold that one as well. Now I'm going to click in cell A4, just underneath the x, and put in my x values. So I'm going to go from -2, so enter -2, press enter, and go all the way to +2. So -1, enter. 0, enter. 1, enter. And 2, enter. Now in the y column, I'm going to enter what the corresponding y values are. So whenever I put -2 into my linear equation, since it's y is equal to 2x, I just double it every time. So we're going to double each x value. So here I'm just going to manually do it. So -2 times 2 is -4. I press enter. -1 times 2 is -2. Enter. 0 times 2 is 0. Press enter. 1 times 2 is 2. Press enter. And 2 times 2 is 4. Press enter. So we have our basic table. If we want to make it look a bit different, because if we print this out, none of these lines are going to show up. Those are just for our own benefit. What I can do is I can select the table, and I can use this button here, which is our border buttons, and I can select the down arrow and choose different types of borders. Maybe I want a thick border around the entire thing. If I click off, I can see that there's a thick border around the entire table. I can select it again. Maybe I want all the inside lines now. So I'll click all borders. If I want another way to make my heading stand out, I can select all those headings and use the fill color button. The automatic is yellow. If I want a little more subtle, I can click the down arrow and choose some sort of gray. Now I have a table of values.